We're going to take another look at the 2024 recruiting class, and we're going to shine a spotlight on four-star wide receiver Zion Ragins, who signed with Oklahoma. We're going to look at his highlights. We're going to look at his 24/7 Sports player profile page. But before we do all that, you need to click that subscribe button right now, because we're talking about the 2024 recruiting class every single day this offseason, player by player. You need to know what your players look like. Oklahoma fans, I've covered a lot of your players. You guys are good to me. Whenever I see a player on your team that's signed with you guys, I try to cover him. I found Zion here. He needs covered. Here's the 24/7 Sports player profile page. If you're here for just the highlights, fast forward a little bit. You'll get there. But they have him ranked as a 3-star prospect, 4-star in the composite, ranked as the 76th wide receiver in the class, 53rd in the composite here. That being said, 5'8", 146 were signed with the Sooners. Look at this, though. 31 offers. 31 offers. I know it's not everything, but it's just another scale, another barometer, another tool, another gauge here to look at when we're looking at these players. You look at the number of offers, then you look at the schools. The thing about the offers here is I got a gauge. 20 is good. 30 is great. 40, phenomenal. Pushing 40, phenomenal. Like if it was 38 or something. 31? 31's good. You got a lot of guys ranked in the wide receiver 20, wide receiver 30, wide receiver 40 range that don't have this many offers. And then you look to the left. The schools matter too, because if they're just bottom dweller schools, well, it doesn't matter. But Florida State, Georgia, Arizona, big time programs looking at him. You got him at wide receiver 76 in your rankings, and the composite has him at 53. What happened? Something happened. The size, I can get at that, but college doesn't care. They don't care. They're like, we'll use them on special teams. You get down here, you see a 10-4-7, 10-4. We're living in the 10-4s. We don't have that one random time that's listed at the 10-4. We have two of them. One of the fastest guys in this class. So teams are going to want him. And that's what they're talking about him. 5'9", 160 though. 11.3 yards per touch. So we're productive. We're efficient with the ball in our hands. We are fast. That's what we're going to see. We're going to see him in the slot. He can get deep routes, post routes. Should be. You're burning everybody at the high school level. 10.63, 10.4. This guy's fast. Did I see a 10.37, 10.66, 10.67? Lives in the 10s. And a good part of the 10s, not barely making it. He is up there in the 10s. That's what I'm saying. We're going to Oklahoma. I can definitely see a spot on the roster for him if he hits. Definitely with that speed. Any roster, just got to hit and develop. He's a 3-star with 24/7 Sports, but a 4-star with On3. 4-star with ESPN and Rivals. On3 has him at 50. ESPN has him at 23. Rivals has him at 79. Industry Rankings has him at 60. 5'7", 170. Florida State, Florida's been going after speed a lot in their recruits. They've been going after speed a lot with their wide receivers. Florida State, South Carolina, Ole Miss. Why is he ranked so low? Because college football is not going to go after jabronis. They're not going after him because they're trying to make him feel good. They're not doing that. So why are you ranking him so low? Let's look at the highlights here. Let's see where he's cooking. 6 minutes, 50 seconds. Let's roll. There he is. There he is with the ball in his hands. Let's see him turn it up. I want to see that top end. There it is. Oh my goodness, that burst. Slow it down to make that break. You don't need to hit it anymore. We know we got it. So a slower guy would have pushed it into gear during that spot because it doesn't have the confidence like a guy like this. We're going opposite field. He's got speed. I'd love to see him run the 40. Like a legit 40 at the combine. Not a random 40 out of school. He's got speed. That speed gets you on the field. That speed, you just develop a little bit, get some trust in you. Prove you're dependable. That speed is different. Not every player you pickup needs to be prototypical. Prototypical size, prototypical height, prototypical weight. You need different sizes of players, and you need them playing different roles. I also got a mix here of junior and senior tape, I believe. And I think I started off with junior tape due to how it was formatted with the highlights. You have to realize that he could be a good piece to the Sooners. That speed. If he clicks in camp, if he clicks with the team, even as a jigsaw piece, even on special teams, they bumped him down to a 3-star. I would have covered him much sooner, but they bumped him down so much. I was going down 24/7 Sports rankings, just using that as my thing, going down player by player. And now I'm getting to the point I'm just looking at rosters, and I'm looking at the recruiting listings for certain schools now. He showed up. I was like, what? And then I looked at his profile a little bit, and I was like, oh, we might have something here. Instantly separates. Not every wide receiver needs to be a Justin Jefferson. Not every wide receiver needs to be prototypical. You can have different wide receivers. It's just like your bag when you're golfing. You need different clubs. He's a different club. And sometimes that different clubs are going to set your team apart from others. And just having that piece. And I get you want all drivers, I guess, 24/7 Sports, but like I say again, you want to look at the upside because the hit rate going from high school to college isn't really grand for players. So why not just look at the upside, see what we can get, and if things come to fruition, you know how it's going to play out. But I like him a lot. I think this is the senior tape because it's starting slow. The senior tape's slower. Not him slower, but the pace of how things are kept. But look at that speed. Pulls away. I like him. And he's going to get bigger. He's going to naturally get bigger. He was listed at 140 something, but he was 150 there, and in the notes there it said 160. He's going to get bigger naturally. How many adults you see that are men, 5'7" or so, that are just sitting there at a $140? Especially when they're an athlete like this. You also got to think he's constantly running track because he's elite at that, constantly doing it. And if he's just putting his game all into football, he's going to thicken up. So it's going to be really hard for him to put on weight if you're constantly running track. He's elite at it, top tier. I mean, you're running in 10.4s. You ran a 10.40. You ran a 10.3. You ran a 10.36 if I remember from there. So he's going to thicken. Level competition. I'm not worried about level competition because there's not much competition out there at the high school level that's going to compete with a 10.4 on the football field. I'm not even looking at that. He's just going to blow by everybody. College level, a little different. It has to be a little bit more nuanced. Get those opportunities. Have to get on the field. But again, in space, with the ball in his hands, you'll see that from time to time. You'll see that still. He's on the field getting the ball in space. We have to get to the point where we're getting the ball in space. But you can definitely use him. Even as just a specialist for special teams to give your DBs and wide receivers a breather. 31 programs wanted this kid. A lot of Power 5 schools. And this is why. He's a hot knife through butter. Get him the ball in his hands. He's a hot knife through butter. This is a wide receiver you do not want to sleep on. Ooh. Also, I'll say here, because whoever's still watching is true Oklahoma fans, when the new NCAA game comes out, I'm going to hook you guys up with some videos, some content. You guys have been doing very good to me. You guys have been doing very good. I'm going to hook you guys up with some Oklahoma content. I don't know how or what. I haven't played PS5 ever because I don't have one, but I'm buying it and getting it to do content for you guys. But I'm going to hook you guys up. You guys have been very good to me this offseason. I'm going to be very good to you guys with the content. Ooh, he's got some ball skills too. Ooh, he's got some speed to burn. He's got some speed to burn. We know where his money's going to be made on the field. We know this. We know where his money's going to be made on the field. We know where the pathway's going to be. That speed is electric. That's game changing. All these college teams knew that, and they recruited for that. 24/7 Sports was like, nah, because not every wide receiver or any player is going to be that prototypical player. And like I said during the video, that you got your golf bag, you need different clubs. He's going to be a different club for you. He's going to thicken up some. He should. I doubt he's running track as heavy, especially if he's invested in the football. He should thicken up from that even. He should get bigger. He'll be in the Oklahoma weight room. Look for him to put on a little bit more man weight. I'm not concerned, especially with that speed, especially how we know he's going to be used if he starts getting opportunities. And if things click, it's going to click big, and he's going to be a good home run threat for you guys. I'm excited for you guys for getting a wide receiver like this on the back end of your recruiting class. I think he's a great get. I think there's tremendous upside here. I think shooting for upside on these players is good, and I like him as a player. I think he's got a lot of upside, and if the competition or things don't work out with Oklahoma, he's got the skill set where he can go anywhere in the country. All these programs are going to want him with that speed, and he's going to click somewhere and get some opportunities somewhere. If not, Oklahoma is a great spot for him because this team is retooling, and they're adding some tools to their tool belt. They're looking good. They're having a good recruiting class. Let me know what you think about him in the comments below. Make sure to hit that subscribe button on the way out. I want to thank you for watching. Catch you on the next video.